Wait, it's so weird. Like, the whole story should just be right there, but it's not. Alright. I'm not going to. I need that! Alright, I'm done. I'm relaxed, I guess.
Welcome to the Delco Nerd Network podcast. I am your host, Anthony Gooch, and here with a few friends in the Delaware County area. We get in a basement and we talk about a certain topic. Today's topic, the fall of Telltale games. Here to discuss my co-host, Gooch Trio,
How's it going,
as
guys?
always.
Good to be back. Good to be back.
I mean, you're never, gone.
You know, Gooch, you don't have to ruin it, Cheese. But you were saying, what's going on? How's Telltale? This sounds awful. We gotta, I guess, get right into this, right?
No.
No?
What's going on? What you watching? What you playing?
What have I been playing?
Bring it back. This isn't like one of the...
Yeah, that's
I feel
right.
like
I keep forgetting we haven't done this in a
Some
while.
of those topics, you gotta get right into it. But
No, definitely. This one we can.
We're gonna
You're right.
ease in. We're gonna ease in.
What have I been playing? I've been replaying Red Dead Redemption for the, I don't know.
17th tuplet time.
Excuse me, 25th time. Thank you very much. Anyways, yeah, I've been playing that. Just been kind of bouncing around. I've been finishing up Crash Bandicoot. Not much though. I mean, I finished Iron Fist Season 2.
I did as well. We talked about it.
We did.
I think
we have our gripes.
Did you
but
enjoy it?
I actually.
You have more gripes than I do.
I've come to terms more with now that
There's a few episodes that are pretty bad.
it's just like weird.
But
What's going on? But
the end is, I think, good.
overall, much better than the first season. The fighting's awesome.
Yeah.
Danny Rand himself is just much more likable, in my opinion. It's good. It is good.
Ward's the best character.
Ward is awesome. They did a switch
I don't know
with him
why
that
I
worked
like
well.
him so
No,
much. I don't get it. Like
they
he's
made
such
you
an asshole.
sympathize with him very well. Like, I don't know what it was.
It's
Like,
not that I sympathize with him. I don't know. I just like him.
I did.
Maybe it's his
I
hair.
was like, I felt.
think
He's
it's
like,
his hair.
I appreciated that he came back around and was like, yeah, I was a piece of shit, but like, I don't know.
Not anymore, mommy.
Come on. But otherwise, I think like the regular For Honor.
Before you came over, I beat you out of the Tomb Raider.
Nice. How was it?
The trilogy is complete. It's got its moments, and the journey is the reward with this game.
Gotcha. You're there for
it's
the
alright.
you're there for the journey, not the end. And this is what you're saying, right?
Yeah,
Like,
there's like some cool moments in Shadow, like there really are. But it's just more Tomb Raider,
Yeah.
and if you like that,
then that's probably good for you.
yeah, you should like Shadow.
I did-
Is it a day one purchase? Probably not.
I did find that setting much more interesting than like what
I
we got in the
actually
first and
don't.
the second one. Like, really? Did you
There
liked
are
it less than the second one? Like the setting was?
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of odd. I didn't like Rise's setting.
Yeah.
And
Is
I
that
wasn't
the
that
first
fond-
one? The second one, right?
Second
It's Rise, yeah.
And I wasn't that fond of the original Tomb Raiders, which is the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wasn't fond of any of the settings. Like before going in, I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I enjoyed the
wasn't that
first
much of a
ones,
fan.
but I'd be very interested to play Shadow and see what I think of it, because it does the whole Mayan apocalypse idea and like the Mayan setting and everything seems interesting to me.
Yeah,
but that's interesting. to hear.
Of course, we both platinumed and finished Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
You can check out our review on youtube.com/Delco Nerd Network or podcast services. Just look for Delco Nerd Network. Shameless plugs.
I think that's our biggest podcast too, like group wise.
Yo, yeah,
most people.
yeah, it is.
It was a lot of fun. Really,
It was a really good conversation.
we had a great time filming it.
Yeah.
So I think it's really worth the
Yeah,
watch.
please check it out.
Shameless plug it aside. But,
Yeah. I platinumed Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, for those who give a shit about that.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to Kingdom Hearts 2.
All right.
I got 3 more games to go.
You're building it up. So when do we have a release date for Kingdom Hearts?
23rd of January?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't mean this in a mean way, but I'll believe that when I see it.
man,
I do. I think they'll hit it this.
I
hope
believe
they.
it. I believe it. They can't delay a game in December. They
That's
only
true.
have a month to do it.
That's true.
They're not going to delay a game in the middle of holiday season when everyone's officially checked out for the year.
I still all of September. I was they started building up the hype, so it kind of took away my fears. But with Red Dead, I was afraid they were going to be no, we need a couple more months.
Well,
or
with the
something.
online,
Yeah, well,
of course. I think that was kind of expected.
online, I wasn't even just single player.
For GTA, it was kind of like that too, right?
Well, yeah. I don't even mean that being delayed, but just the game itself. I was afraid they were going to we need an extra month or two. We'll get it out February next year. But it seems that we're solid this month. We're getting it.
Yeah, I'm trying to wrap up stuff. Well, I'm going to be starting tomorrow since it's October.
Yeah.
I like to play spooky games.
Nice. What do you got on the list?
Outlast 2, I'm going to play on Xbox.
Nice.
And then I haven't bought it yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to play some on PS4.
Good. Worth the play.
I was I want to play Resident Evil 7, but they have the edition with all the DLC.
You want to wait
still,
and see if it comes out on, or for cheap. Yeah.
Dude, I'll tell you right now. I was just thinking about this. I will never digitally buy something for full price unless I'm buying it the first day. I literally look for shit to go on sale if I'm buying it digitally. That's the only way I do it.
Yeah.
Last of Us is on sale, and I think I'm gonna cop it. But I think the remaster, you have to. It's not the DLC isn't with it.
Really?
I'm pretty sure, which is kind of weird.
That is weird.
It's really weird. I'm like, that's weird. I'm like, you just whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like $7 and $3, and I think I might get it because. But like I wanted it physically, and I'm like, maybe I should just get over it.
Yeah, like the physically, it depends. Like Spider-Man, I got that digitally because I was like, I don't even feel like dealing with Amazon's bullshit. I don't know. I might have. I don't think so. No, I haven't gotten anything.
Where's this fucking pin?
I might not have changed
Where's my fucking pin?
It might have went to my old address now that I think about it.
Hey
man,
I don't know if I ever. Every day. I'll just be like, yo, you get a Spider-Man pin?
Hey, where is it? What was I saying? But yeah, I don't know. Digitally can be good if I want to just get it right away. I like that preload thing, but I mean, now that Amazon's taken away that deal and stuff, I'm probably gonna go back to GameStop. I'm gonna get Red Dead from GameStop. Right. I'm probably gonna
I'm getting Red Dead from GameStop as well.
I'm probably gonna re-up my card again there, like because
I never stopped it.
I never went there enough after I got Amazon, so I was like, this isn't.
It sucks. Yeah, so I have Fallout and Spyro pre-ordered with Amazon.
I'm forgetting Fallout's coming out.
Pre-order it. The beta was announced. So you can play.
I guess I should just pre-order it just to try it out at least. I want another Fallout game, but like the whole like multiplayer aspect really doesn't
just get it.
Interest me.
Just get it.
You know what, Gooch? Oh, you just get Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and then we'll talk. All right.
No.
Sight. Anyways, that's the next game I am getting though. I'm excited to play that,
and I'm pretty sure we're going to be reviewing that.
I think so too, unless something else comes up that we're both going to play.
Because I think we were thinking about doing Spyro, but I think Assassin's Creed is the only thing coming out between now and October
that we have any slight interest
in.
Anyways, there's other games, but nothing like that's in our wheelhouse really. Like I was looking because I saw this big article posted like all the games coming out in October, and I was like, I only care about like 2 or 3 of these.
November's pretty chalked now.
Dude, Hitman 2 comes out in November. I can't fucking wait.
And I think Darksiders.
When does Fallout come out?
November.
Yeah. See, like I'm gonna get Hitman's gonna be eating up my life for what I cannot wait for another
PS4?
game. Probably.
Okay.
I might even get Odyssey on PS4 because I'm gonna be playing Red Dead on Xbox.
But dude, you played the entire franchise.
It's not true. I played Syndicate on PlayStation because I didn't have an Xbox when that came out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Might as well just throw yourself into...
I might as well just...
You mean Unity?
No, Syndicate. Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
What?
What are you talking about? Are you not remembering Assassin's Creed Syndicate?
It was after Unity.
Yes.
You had an Xbox by then.
Yeah, but I just got it on PlayStation.
Well, you said you got it because you didn't have an Xbox. I was like, yes, you did.
Wrong inflection. But yeah, I just got it on there because because I'm not playing a ton on my PlayStation. Like that.
It's still an exclusive machine
for me,
and I'm perfectly fine with it.
Yeah. And I do like the Xbox controller better and stuff when I just want to play another game. But I mean, Red Dead I'm gonna get on Xbox because we're all gonna be playing that on there and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, Odyssey, I'm just seeing it as like it's gonna be a single player game. It doesn't really matter anyways. But yeah.
All right. Let's get into the facts. The news.
News.
Give me the one. This just in. All right.
So it's been a rough weekend, man. Last weekend,
dude.
Just between this whole thing.
Okay. So
if you don't know, Telltale closed its door last weekend, right? This happened
this way, right?
Yes.
I don't want to snap.
No, I appreciate it.
Isn't that like a fear that you're gonna snap your own
laptop? I don't
again?
actually like turn it like that often. If I'm gonna be honest, I usually just used the touchscreen right from the beginning.
Okay, so how do we even want to start this?
That's what I'm saying. We just give you a breakdown. So last Friday, not a breakdown, but just like a little catch up.
I mean, I want
to
go through everything chronologically, but like, dude, Telltale Games just fucking like went up,
shut their doors out of nowhere. They fired everyone except for 25 people.
So, news broke on September 21st, which is a Friday, and like at 3:30. That the fact that so this is a Verge article. The Walking Dead developer Telltale hit with devastating layoffs as a part of majority studio closure. So that was before. We have no idea what's going on.
That was it was out of nowhere.
It was news that there are layoffs happening at Telltale, and there wasn't. Telltale did not say anything just yet. So, 250 employees were let go, and a skeleton crew of 25 people were kept on. I think that came out
to work on the last episode for the latest episode of The Walking Dead.
No,
that's not what it was for.
To fulfill obligations to shareholders and Netflix for Minecraft.
From
I don't know what Netflix
so
has
then
anything to do with that, but that's why they're not there for The Walking Dead.
Stranger Things. Remember, they made a deal with them for that.
We'll get there.
Yeah,
we'll get there. I don't know what Netflix has anything to do with Minecraft.
Minecraft, I don't know why they'd put that. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know.
But
well,
okay, so let's start at the beginning for Telltale. You know, we got this news. Before we read Telltale's statement, I wanted to get a list of their titles. So, The Walking Dead put Telltale on the map. Telltale existed a long time before that.
Yeah, I didn't even
Sam
realize
and
how
Max,
long.
They had a poker game.
Well, I know Back to the Future was the other one that really... That was the thing that got them a little more hype even before The Walking Dead. And then The Walking Dead came out
So The Walking Dead releases 2012, finishes up in 2013. And then our next critical darling for them, The Wolf Among Us. The big guns for them.
Fucking love that game.
The two really big titles that really did well for Telltale. So The Wolf Among Us started in 2013. So, mind you, The Walking Dead finishes, The Wolf Among Us starts.
Yep.
They never overlap. And I think it's like that for most Telltale games. They've never
Well,
overlapped.
except for lately. Like, production-wise. No, I assume production-wise.
Right,
I assume they were probably just working on The Walking Dead, then their whole team moved
or
to The Wolf Among
their
Us.
team was like majority shifting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So then we got Wolf Among Us, Walking Dead Season 2, Tales from the Borderlands, Game of Thrones, Minecraft Story Mode, Walking Dead Michonne, Batman Telltale, Walking Dead A New Frontier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Minecraft Story Mode Season 2, Batman The Enemy Within, which is Season 2, and then finally, the final season, which is where they ended. So we're going from 2012 to 2018, and then all the titles released.
Can I see that, please?
That is a lot of games. And to kind of get into it now, I think the fact that Telltale just cranked out games based on popular IPs, like, not that like it was nothing, because I felt like I wasn't playing every Telltale game.
I wasn't either.
It was to a point where, like, not that I couldn't keep up, but like Tales from the Borderlands didn't really interest me.
Well, see, this is what I'm looking at here. It's interesting to see. So, it looked like they released. I guess they were releasing multiple games.
You know,
in a
since
year.
2012, cranking out title
I'm trying to
after
see
title
like if they
after
maybe
title.
released more as of like since The Walking Dead, which is in 2014. But I mean, it seems like they were always releasing about 3 games a year, which is interesting. But I don't think they were putting nearly as much.
Not in full, and like their episodes were released.
Exactly,
yeah,
and that's
not in full.
So that's why I'm interested to see like maybe getting these crazier IPs and these more sought after IPs. They were trying to put even more effort into it and just straining themselves to an even greater degree.
I think it became a
They did a Law and Order game.
Yeah, a while ago.
What?
Look at the dates.
I know, it's just funny.
Telltale has been around for a while.
No, I know. That's why I was listening to Greg and Andrea talk about it. I was about to say Erica, but it's interesting. I really wouldn't have known that.
Got the laptop back.
You gotta bring your own laptop on next time.
Yeah.
We can't be switching back and forth. And I want to use my laptop.
Sorry. Yeah. So they're clearly like cranking out titles based on popular IPs, which I think is a bad thing.
I don't think that's a bad. I think. It's
but like nobody gave it second thought because Telltale's putting out these games. They must be making a decent amount of money on each.
I
of them
shouldn't say that.
keeps them going.
I don't think it's wrong that they're cranking or putting out games that are about popular IPs. I think it's wrong that they're cranking them out. Is the problem? Is that they seem to have been trying to just one after another. Batman. Now we got Stranger Things.
Mind you, they weren't like one-upping themselves.
That's the thing.
And Telltale never had another really critical title since Wolf Among Us that everyone was talking about.
And they just didn't seem to grow mechanically a lot. Like the games.
They did in very minute ways, and they were using the same engine.
Let's put it this way: from Walking Dead Season 1 to Batman Season 2, it's the same mechanically, basically. Sure, there's maybe a little less puzzles or something, but And I get it. It's supposed to be a more linear, story-driven thing. But you got to innovate after a while. You can't just keep releasing the exact same thing mechanics-wise for 5 years straight. And I think that they were so focused on getting these new IPs and getting more games out the door that they didn't care about their mechanics, and they didn't seem to worry. I mean, I know they slightly upgraded their engine, right? For maybe one or two.
Very slightly.
But, like, it's so much... I was playing the first season of fucking Batman, and the clips I was running into of just... It would just stop or crash. Or just, like... I was like, there's no reason a game like this should be moving like this
from
at
a
all.
studio making that many games who had a few critical successes that
seemed to be doing well, like,
it wasn't
seemed
a good
to be.
excuse.
Yeah.
You know, we reviewed Batman,
Yeah.
and we reviewed The Walking Dead episode 1.
Yeah.
So following maybe like an hour or two later, Telltale releases a statement on their Twitter, and I'm gonna read the whole thing. It's not too long. Today, Telltale Games made the difficult decision to begin a majority studio closure following a year marked by insurmountable challenges. A majority of the company's employees were dismissed earlier this morning, with a group of 25 employees staying on to fulfill the company's obligations to its board and shareholders.
Okay.
CEO Pete Hawley issued the following statement. It's been an incredibly difficult year for Telltale as we worked to set the company on a new course. Unfortunately, we ran out of time trying to get there. We released some of our best content this year and received a tremendous amount of positive feedback, but ultimately that did not translate to sales. With a heavy heart, we watch our friends leave today to spread our brand of storytelling across the games industry. Telltale will issue further comments regarding its products portfolio in the coming weeks, which they eventually did. So, what did Telltale have on the docket? Obviously, Walking Dead episode 1 had just come out a few weeks ago. There was a Stranger Things game in the works, which we'll get to, and then Wolf Among Us season 2,
which I was
and
so
apparently a
pumped for.
Minecraft game, which I know nothing about.
Well, they did a Minecraft story mode. Remember that?
A few of them.
Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. They
So,
had
like,
3 seasons of that fucking game. Why?
like even
why?
even this. I really, honestly, the people I really do feel the worst for in this situation are the devs, and just like
The people
the
who
management seemed
were told to literally like pack up and
they had
go
3
home.
hours to go take all their shit out of their office, and like this doesn't seem like this was something that they just found out about, and it just kind of shat on them, and they didn't realize it was coming. It seemed like they were riding the knife's edge and never told anyone. And never
or at least
like
nobody had realized it.
That's what I should say. None of the workers, they were all very surprised. Some of the tweets I was just seeing, just like these guys talking about, like, I worked an extra like 8 hours a night every night, and I got no severance. I'm walking out with no severance, and I got a week left of insurance.
Yeah, there's a lot of legal issues.
And dude, it's like that's not okay. And like it's hard for me to believe that these guys didn't know any earlier to tell their staff members.
Based on based on like what we know, this is clearly a fuck up from a
Upper management level,
Upper management level, 100%. This has nothing really to do with the quality of game Telltale making. In a way, it does, but not really.
Yeah,
that's
the
not
deciding
why
factor here was finances.
So the next. Okay, so we have the weekend.
Yep.
We don't hear anything for the weekend. During the weekend, we get statements from Troy Baker, Melissa Hutchison, who I have met, other voice actors that played in The Walking Dead, and Melissa has a really long one. I'm not gonna read it, but like Troy Baker's is quick as well, or not too long, but like they're both like just like whoa. Like they had no idea.
Yeah, they thought.
And
they were
Melissa's currently working on a game for them.
Yeah, so
like she's in. There's no way they've done episode 3 and 4. That's not really how they work.
And even like,
and Troy was just like, all their hearts go out to the devs, and like they're talking about how great the team is and stuff. But it's just like, nobody saw this coming. This was out of nowhere.
It's a really sad. Like, I mean, obviously, I do think the upper heads in the company did know this was coming.
Oh yeah,
but no one
we're talking about
devs and just the
level
guys
people.
on the ground floor just working and getting the games out there. No one knew this was coming, and that's just not okay. And even like then they came out with a statement saying like we're looking for financial backers to try and finish up The Walking Dead, and like no guys, you gotta take that financial aid and pay your fucking people first, and then worry about the game.
So on Monday the 24th of September, another article, Kotaku. Telltale employees left stunned by company closure, no severance. So these people are let go, and they are not getting paid a dime.
They got insurance till today, till tomorrow, October 1st is when their insurance goes out. I can't imagine living it over, especially in California, and just being out of a job out of nowhere, and you're just worried.
So you were talking about some of the tweets. One of the tweets were like, "None of my sleepless nights or long hours on weekends trying to ship a game on time got me severance today." Tweeted now former Telltale character artist Brandon Chebneka.
Sorry for mispronouncing your name. We did our
in the hours following the meeting. Don't work overtime unless you're paid for it, y'all. Protect your health. Companies don't care about you. Another ex-employee said that they'd wish they'd taken more vacation time while they still had a job. All I want right now is to rest for a couple days, they tweeted. But since we got no severance and our insurance expires at the end of the month, I don't have the luxury. Neither employee provided further comment. People are getting fucked.
Like, it's not good.
And this is before we know this was illegal.
Yeah.
What they did, letting employees go, no notice. You're supposed.
Well, I saw that law.
There's a Californian Act law thing that you're supposed to give employees 60 days notice if you're going to be doing something like this, and they gave them an hour.
The problem is, I was reading that
30 minutes to go down to their desk, get their shit, and leave.
I thought they told them 30 minutes before, and then they had 3 hours to clear out
their whole... They gave them 3 hours on Monday.
Yeah, okay.
So dude, I could only fucking imagine.
Like, the way your heart would sink into your stomach.
If
like,
I
what do you even
walked in
do?
there, I'd be so fucking mad. I would be so mad. I would,
And this really speaks to, another problem that apparently really goes on in the dev industry, which is, it's called crunch. And if you don't know what crunch is, it's basically when devs work on a game into the wee hours of the night, into the weekend to ship it, and just they work all day and night. And it's not good working conditions. You shouldn't work, and you shouldn't be working like that. And another problem with the gaming industry seems to be is it's almost like the film industry, but they don't explicitly say it, as to where you only seem to have a job for this one game. And then, you don't know, maybe you'll be kept on for the next one.
A lot of Telltale's employees were contracts, not full-time. Which is another issue.
And it's just so you're good for this game that you're making, but once that game's done, you could be let go. It could just be over for you for that studio. And I mean, that seems to be an accepted thing in the film industry now, but that's obviously just the way that works. It's very just weird, and it's unacceptable, really.
Oh, 100% is unacceptable. So, going off this article more...
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I want to say something about that law. The thing that scares me about that law is I heard someone, maybe it was Greg reading it on the Gamescast, verbatim, and it said most companies. It didn't say all companies.
Companies with 100 employees or more, I think.
It said most companies, though, with 100. It didn't say exactly all, so I'm afraid that somehow they'll be able to fuck out. But even if they say they do get to sue them, and the company's dissolved and everything, who are they going to get the money from?
An employee filed a lawsuit.
But I'm saying if they win that lawsuit, if they don't have any money anyways, it doesn't matter, sadly. That's the problem.
A big thing about this is money. I think.
If it's just not there, sadly,
we'll
it's not there.
I just going through this news chronologically.
It sucks. It really
last
sucks.
week, every fucking day, there were 3 articles about Telltale.
Yeah.
But continuing this article, Emily Grace Buck, a lead designer on several Telltale games, including one of its most recent ones, the final season of The Walking Dead, spoke publicly about how long hours were customary at Telltale. It's true. We usually worked 50-plus hour weeks, sometimes 70 to 80. Weekends were often expected, she wrote.
I used to want to be a video game designer.
Shit.
This stuff really, that's not cool.
We were constantly understaffed. Deadlines were ludicrously,
yeah.
Thank you. Tight. Our schedules were so close, we went from one crunch directly into another.
Yeah, see, that's...
Episode 2 of the final season of The Walking Dead, originally slated for this past Tuesday, on September 25th, it did come out. Kotaku has already received a preview code for it. Telltale has not confirmed that the game will... Okay. Yeah. So it's fucked up. It's, straight fucked up.
People bought that whole season. No, they don't get those 2 games.
The next day, Telltale issues a statement on the finishing of The Walking Dead. Hi, everyone. We have a Walking Dead update for you. Multiple potential partners have stepped forward to express interest in helping to see the final season through to completion. We can't make any promises today. We are actively working towards a solution that will allow episodes 3 and 4 to be completed and released in some form. In the
Pay your people
meantime,
first.
episode 2 will release tomorrow. So this, sorry, this is Monday.
Yeah.
Across all platforms as planned. We hope to have answers for you soon. Here's the issue with this.
Yeah.
How you get like, as much as I want to see the end of this series,
Yes.
The Walking Dead by Telltale, you have to play your employees.
Yeah, you can't. I can't consciously.
You can't go out of your way to try to make this game work, and your employees are still fucked.
Any money you get for this game has to go to your employees first. Like, the only thing I could see maybe happening, which I just don't think it will anymore. I think this is really just in the hole. Would be like the golden picture would be to have someone come in. They're like, all right, we're gonna back you for this last season of Walking Dead. We'll see what we can do. We'll try and hire back everyone that we just fired. Probably only about a half to 2/3 of them will come back, but even still, I bet a lot of them would happily take their jobs back just to fucking have a job and just have a little bit of a runway to get something else set up. I just... That's not... It looks like an interesting thing to say at first, but then when you think about it, you're like, no, pay your fucking people.
Corey Barlog tweeted, he was like, you guys should be paying your employees
first, not worrying about the game.
Yeah. And so, Tuesday, the 24th, the episode comes out. The 25th... 24th is a Monday. Sorry. Then the 25th, the episode comes out. Also, we get the leaks of Stranger Things.
I didn't watch anything.
They were making, which it's just it's unvoiced just gameplay.
Just clip,
and it looks pretty
clips.
good, but like, how the hell, like if you looked at this and like we know information that we haven't talked about yet, where was you were clearly funding another project.
That's what I'm saying. So like they had to know up until the last second that this was definitely a big chance of happening. And, like, we'd be having a totally different conversation right now if they went to their employees a month ago and said, hey, guys, we need to be honest. We're trying to find partners. We've had a few fall through. We're doing our best here. But there is a chance that we're going to have to shut down. We'd be having a 100% different conversation now. It's just, like, you got to take care of your fucking people, or what else? Like, I don't want to buy a game knowing that people spent 50 plus hours on it on a week to make it and not be able to see their family, and like it sucks. That is a lot of games, and we should be able to find a way to make these games without this type of crunch.
That's why there's talks about unionizing game development in the gaming industry.
And I will say, I'm not usually a union guy,
sense, but like,
yeah, for this,
people are like being taken advantage of. Like,
yeah. 100%.
I do overtime at work, but I get paid for it.
Yeah,
if I wasn't getting paid for overtime and I was just asked to do something, like,
that's not how a job works. Yeah, exactly.
Like, I can literally say no.
And then the thing that sucks about being such in a specialty field, like, video game creation, it's not like you can easily find another job within 5 minutes. Like,
plus, if you're moving to another studio and they're near San Francisco. They're not in San Francisco. It's like San Rafael or something like that. So like, if you have a family, wow,
like I can't imagine what you're going through right now.
And if you're living alone,
I'm a fucking.
Oh my god! You gotta uproot. Like, it's insane.
I even think if I had the family situation's even worse. I guess you're hoping that their significant other would also have a job, so that way you have a little bit of a cushion. But like, it costs so much money to live out where most of these video games are made.
Yeah.
And
and I bet a disgruntled employee was like, you know what, fuck Telltale. I'm gonna leak all this shit. I guarantee.
Totally.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
We know where the leak came from.
He's like, dude,
it's not like weird. It's like their company closed. I guarantee you, somebody had that information, downloaded it onto a USB, and was like, fuck Telltale.
Yeah.
Done. I'm done.
And I can't disagree with them. I really can't. And it's just such a shitty way to go about the situation, and that I think is what the worst. Besides 250 people losing their jobs and their livelihood, it's just terrible.
So later that day, IGN comes out with an article. Telltale's sudden closure was reportedly the result of a failed round of financing. So, let's see. The company was working diligently close with a round of The company
Diligently
was working
close with-
diligently to a close round of financing. Okay.
No,
Just,
that is a weird way
Telltale
to put it.
co-founder Dan Connors told Variety, "Unfortunately, when the last potential financial backer abruptly pulled out, we were left in a position where we had no choice but to stop production. Sadly, everyone was so focused on doing what was required to keep the company going that when the last potential partner backed out, there were no options."
Who wrote this? I'm just curious.
This is written by...
I just want to give him a little credit. I think it was at the top.
Is it?
Could have sworn it was. Written by... No. I'd like to give him credit. I don't want to just read off that. Maybe it's at the bottom.
Nick Santangelo.
Nick Santangelo.
Who's
Thank
a
you.
writer based in Philly.
Oh, really? Awesome.
Fucking
Philly, that's
I
great.
should probably follow this guy on Twitter.
Yeah.
It was Lionsgate, by the way. Lionsgate was their last... It was Lionsgate.
So they knew. Yeah, they had to have known. Like, that's the problem. It's really just... They didn't let anyone know. Like, give people a month. Be like, guys, we might be shutting down. Just look for a job just in case.
So, just to go off what you were saying,
Yeah.
for the Stranger Things leak, Pat Torf wrote that from Bloody Disgusting.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
I will, from now on, read people's names.
I just think it's a good... Yeah.
That is a good idea.
Yeah, just
and
give
I
people a
was
little
being
credit.
Very rude.
No, that's not even being rude. I wouldn't have thought about it, too, until someone said it on a podcast. I was like,
Connors
that's a good
wouldn't
thing.
name the potential financer Telltale was courting, but multiple sources told Variety that it may have been Lionsgate. It wouldn't have been the first time Lionsgate provided financial backing for Telltale. Lionsgate first invested in the studio in 2015, which eventually led to some strife with Telltale co-founder Kevin Brunner earlier this year. Lionsgate 2015 investment is said to have been for $40 million and was made so that two companies could create a super show that would combine with playable content
heard
with a
about
scripted
this,
TV.
yeah.
I heard about this too.
So it would have almost been like trying to do what Quantum Break was attempting to do, in a way, right?
yeah.
Like meld a TV show with a game.
Mm-hmm.
Which would, I mean, I don't know if that would work. But,
Do you want to do the rest of the articles?
I mean, let's just see what they got. Yeah, like,
So,
yeah.
next up, 25th, end of the day. Telltale hit with a class action lawsuit for breaking labor laws. We mentioned it.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find the name of it. The Warren Act.
Okay.
That was what the law was called. The complaint filed Monday in federal court in San Francisco is a class action lawsuit submitted by Vernie Roberts on behalf of himself and his fellow laid-off workers. In the complaint, Roberts says Telltale, which is based in San Francisco suburb of San Rafael, California, let go of employees without cause and without providing them any advance written notice as required by the Warren Act. It's against the law. What Telltale did was against the law.
Let me read that. Let me read that again.
And
Because like it's just the way
this is a
you gotta look
article by Samit Sakar.
You really got to look at the wording of that though. So what did it say exactly? Read it back to me.
What I just read?
The exact Warren Act. Like what does it say that
The
it's breaking?
Federal Worker Adjustment and Retaining Notification Act, which became law in 1988, stipulates that most businesses with at least 100 full-time workers
So notice it said most businesses, but continue.
must notify 60 days in advance of any plant closures or mass layoffs. The Act defines a mass layoff as a reduction of 50 or more employees within a 30-day period if the total comprises at least one-third of the company's workforce, or any layoff of 500 or more workers. California's state-level version of the Warren Act, which took effect in 2003, has a more stringent requirements for business. It lowers the company's size threshold to 75 full or part-time workers and applies to any reductions of at least 50 employees. Both the state and federal laws require an advance notice of 60 days. There's a little bit more. I could keep going.
So just to go off that, it says the sucky part is it says most businesses there. Another thing is
And
it's
of course,
saying without
of course, no one's doing anything by the book.
No, yeah. And
And
then it says without reason, and then they're gonna say, well, our reason is we literally can't pay anyone. And I feel bad for, like I was saying earlier, like this person's suing, and honestly, I think that they could win, but it's
going to take a while. We're not
well,
gonna
but
hear for
where are they gonna get money from? They're not gonna. They literally aren't. Like it just goes to nowhere. They win the case, but then Telltale's dissolved.
the government.
No, it doesn't. It just that's not how it works. It's just the.
I'm
sorry.
just saying,
No.
I was not.
No,
I was,
so like if
was not
a
a
company
factual
dissolves like
statement.
that just means it's gone. Like that they don't have anyone to sue and they don't have anyone to get money. Like they can't even.
the question is like, who own? I don't think Telltale isn't owned by anyone.
That's
I
the
looked
thing.
That up. One of my coworkers at work was like,
It's
who
shareholders,
owns Telltale?
right?
And I'm like, Telltale owns Telltale.
Yeah.
They're not owned by a company.
Are they a
whereas,
publicly owned company? So you can buy shares in it, right? and so you could have, I assume.
I guess. I don't know.
So
You're
that's
talking the wrong guy.
Yeah. So that's the only problem I see with that is sure they can win, but then there's still no money. That's the sucky part. It really is.
So, if Telltale had any money, they're not going to be making any more. Because guess what? On September 26th, Polygon's Allegra Frank reports Telltale pulls The Walking Dead's final season from sale. There we go.
That's that.
Yeah, and to make it very clear, I bought the season pass.
Yeah.
I have not played episode 2, and I won't until I know
indefinitely what's going on.
Yeah. I'm not playing that episode because what's the point?
Yeah, it's like you're not going to get the end to it.
What's
so
the
it's like
fucking
you're
point?
just yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Telltale has requested a temporary pause of sales of The Walking Dead final season, according to the store page, for all up-to-date... Okay.
So
it's a pretty short
So
article.
it's just saying that they took it down right now. They didn't say it's definitely done. Is what that's saying. Am I correct or am I incorrect?
They're pulling it
for now, is what it said. Okay.
So, yes, we have removed season passes for The Walking Dead final season from stores for the time being, a representative told Polygon. We are currently still working to find a way to hand off production of episodes 3 and 4 so that the season can be completed. The outcome of those efforts will be determined when and how the final season returns to stores. We hope to have a firm announcement before the end of the week. For now, we apologize for any inconvenience. They did not have an announcement before the end of the week.
Yeah. I do feel bad for people like you.
I was literally, I'm like, they have to pull this.
Again, it's one of those situations too, and it's like people are like, well, am I going to get a refund? And I don't know if Steam will give you a refund. Don't they give you a refund?
Steam gives you refunds in certain...
Isn't it after 2 hours played or something like that? You can't get one? I think, obviously, this is a definitely big exception.
There have been a lot of fucking cases where Steam has issued refunds because of weird situations, and this is definitely...
And then this is, again, getting to my point of there's no money. It's like, people want these refunds. Say they did just buy it from them off the Xbox Marketplace stuff. It's like, you're probably not getting a refund, sadly. And it really sucks. So
the last kind of news we had, which came out on Monday, GameSpot, not Stop, GameSpot's Steve Watts reports ex-Telltale Games employee files.
Is this a
class
different
action lawsuit?
Or is this the one from the war? Is this the same one about the war?
I think this is a different one. Oh no, it's the same article. Oops.
Sorry.
Either way. Yeah.
At least we gave him credit, though. So that's good.
Yeah. So, that's where we are. That's really the end of the news. That's all that's come out. And then I guarantee we'll be hearing more, but, like, this lawsuit's definitely going to happen, and we're not going to hear, it's going to take a while.
It's going to happen, but I just don't think it's going to go anywhere. I just don't know where it can go. There's no one to sue. Telltale's disintegrated.
It's not gone 100%.
Well, sure, you have your 25 people working in there. You might have your CEO, but they don't have any money. I just really don't. I feel so bad.
They're still going to go to trial.
No,
it's
I know.
Still against the law.
Don't get me wrong, and they could win, but then it's against Telltale. It's not. No one will get a comeuppance. You know what I mean? That's the sucky part here. There's no one to get a comeuppance. It just seems like the corporate guys are going to go the way they're going to go. It's not going to be able to go back to them because it's in the company's name. I feel really bad. I hope it works out for the best, and I really do hope they get some cash out of it or anything, just some type of settlement. But I just don't know.
And the gaming community has been open arms.
Very vocal, yeah.
Telltale's, ex-employees. I know Ubisoft had a lunch forum in San Francisco. Job opportunities from them. From everyone. Yeah. Everyone is open arms.
I saw Mitch. Do you know Mitch Dyer?
Yeah.
Yeah, he posted a big thing about all the open jobs going on in the industry. So if you are
he works for EA now.
Yeah, but he just posted a big Google Doc of everything that's hiring right now. So if you go to his Twitter account, you can find one if you happen to be one of those developers. Because it sucks. And the thing that really gets me down about this is it doesn't seem like they weren't making bad games. They weren't making the most amazing games.
Yeah,
but they didn't see they seemed to be selling fine. It seemed to be obviously the financing was the thing that went wrong. This was mostly upper management, or if not all.
And 100% upper management.
100%.
And the reason we decided to do this podcast was because this isn't a normal thing that happens. Companies go out of business.
No, this
Capcom closed the studio that made Dead Rising a few weeks ago. But, you know, they didn't just come in on a Friday and go,
"This is it. You're done.
See
Get
ya,
out."
We're closing.
I was listening
You know,
to
they. I mean, I don't know the information, but I will assume that they stayed within the confines of the law and everything was done legally and correctly.
and I was listening to GameScoop, one of my favorite IGN podcasts, and the guy Damon Hatfield, the host, was on there. He's been working. He's a man. I love him. But he's
a vet.
He's been there for 12 years, and he's like, I have never seen anything like this before.
This is huge.
This is
I
insane.
think this is a big case study. I feel, and I don't think anything like this has even happened on this level. And I'll compare Kojima and Konami. That split up was huge. It wasn't necessarily an like it was.
It was a big story.
And
it wasn't
him.
as sad. Yeah, it was like it was sad, of course, but it wasn't as like
on a different level.
Exactly.
Yeah, but like that's the last kind of like corporate story that we had that like some shit was going down.
Yeah.
And
that we just kept hearing on and on.
And we still don't know what really happened between Konami and Kojima.
I don't think we ever will, unless
I think it'll be a long time before Kojima talks about it. I still think he has like somewhat of respect for them, but he kind of. I think he just.
I mean, hey, he might obviously respect some people
think
still in the company.
He was very bitter about it because in a few interviews he was in a Japanese interview, he I think it was like right after PT was canceled, and they were talking about Metal Gear Survive.
Yeah.
And Kojima, like somebody like whoever the interviewer was talking to him about Survive and PT, and he goes, "PT, go home," like right into the mic, like, and he laughed. But I really think like Kojima was definitely in a very awkward spot for a while.
And it would be
he's
curious.
kind of out of it because like Survive came out and it fucking sucked.
And it's like,
as it should.
How could they have ever thought that was gonna work? Like after all that shit that just went down, even if it was an alright game. No, like you just after what just happened with the guy who made the original, why would anyone who really loves that game even think about wanting to get that? But that's a whole other podcast.
Yeah, and it's just this was like we decided to do this podcast like maybe like a week ago because I was like, dude, we have to talk about this.
Yeah.
This is big. This is a big fucking deal. We're not gonna see the story resolve itself anytime soon. We might get more articles. The only thing we're probably gonna hear is what's going on with The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
How that's gonna finish up.
God, we're not gonna get Wolf
like
Among Us
it's
2,
funny because like Telltale was the company that started this episodic thing.
Yeah.
They were.
And
100%.
And
that's
they
how
own that market. But
Don't Nod started with Life is Strange, and they've taken off, and they just released their second season. But they're also doing an original story, and they're not cranking titles out. They didn't even do Before the Storm. Another company did it. They, while they worked on season 2. Like you can tell, like look at Telltale and look at them.
Yeah.
There's a very big difference with what they're doing.
Yeah, and it's just sad because I feel like they could have really given this type of genre a bigger evolution at a slower pace. Like they should have done 1 to 2 games a year, really put some polish on it, really tried to make steps to just improve it
on all levels.
On all levels. I mean, narratively, I do think they're really usually great games, but just mechanically and just artwork wise, I'm like, guys, we needed to step this up. And I just think if they took their time, made 2 games a year, really focused on those things, and just reined it in, we would be having a totally different conversation right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's sad.
It is.
It's pretty fucked up.
And our hearts really go out to all the devs and everything who were affected by it. It's a shitty situation. I know we keep saying that.
And I really think if Telltale stepped back from their third party IPs and was like, hey, why don't we just make our own story?
We'll even go something
why not?
original.
Because I feel like that's what would grab people's attention. Because even with Batman, a huge name, a huge fucking name. Walking Dead even they weren't set it wasn't grabbing the attention of people, and it's probably because just Telltale games are always coming out.
Yeah, and
so it was they're just putting out another game, like they do every year, like they do every 6 months, whatever.
And the thing,
but imagine if they were sorry,
no,
imagine if it was their first IP, this is an original story by us. This is something you've never seen before.
The Fables were already made before they...
Yeah, Fables was a comic, right? Yeah. So not very well-known comic.
But that's what I'm saying. Even if they dove into stuff like that, and even what they did with the first season of Batman, they really made Batman into Telltale's Batman.
They did.
Very... less so with the second season, but the first season, you see Cobblepot, you're like, you would never know until he goes, I'm Cobblepot, and you're like, oh, this fucking Penguin. Then you go up to like the way they treated Harvey and everything. It was much different from the way we usually see them. Then you go to something like Guardians,
which
and it's like it's the same
about.
without being the exact same thing. Like it's the exact look that we get from the
because. Sorry.
No,
I'm interrupting.
It's just you have the look of Star-Lord from the movies and like the look of Gamora, and I mean Drax looks a little different, but
he's
basically
green from the comics.
They didn't take enough, and then Thanos is there. Like, you're giving me too much samey stuff. Give me a Guardian. Give me the first Guardians. Give me the ones we see in Guardians 2, the original Guardians team. Give me something different. Don't just poop out the same narrative story that we've seen. Give me new flavors. Give me new flares. I just don't feel like we were getting that. And even the Stranger Things one, what we're seeing, it's like,
what could have that been?
It would have just been like another thing that went on in the town, maybe at a separate time that the TV's
was
not
supposed
showing.
to be between seasons 2 and 3.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
So
it was
like that
confirmed
would make
that's
sense,
what
but it's
supposed
like, why do I care? Yeah, and then if I cared, wouldn't
it's
I have
interesting.
known
It's like,
this?
oh, that's cool. Like they're doing they're getting a Netflix title and doing that. But like, man, like I think Telltale really fucked themselves.
Screw the pooch.
They
really did.
Like not even talking about what they did with this whole thing that's been happening the last few weeks, but just with their games.
General. Yeah.
Like who was talking about Telltale that much? No one.
It
was breaking news when they announced that the Walking Dead season was going to be the last one. I think that was like some worthy news, but like I don't think they
didn't innovate.
They didn't innovate, and they innovated a genre. They fucking created a genre,
and then they were like, "All right, we're good. We're not going to change.
We're just going to do the same thing we've been doing.
We'll tweak this slightly."
And I'm not trying to be a dick, but
no,
like
I'm not either.
I feel like that's the truth. Like you look at this situation, and they didn't take any innovative steps. Steps to be like, look at what Life is Strange is doing. An original IP, a very different game thematically, with different mechanics, with the superpowers and stuff. Very different from Telltale stuff. And I would argue better than most of their stuff. Life is
especially
Strange
now, they're learning
and Before
from
the Storm is really fucking good. And even the episode 1 is really good. And I'm really interested in this world that they're creating.
And you can tell, like, they learned their lessons from Telltale. But then they fixed what they obviously should fix.
They have a good engine.
They have good engine.
I think they make their games on Unity, but like that's fine.
Just make it look like we're almost talking in circles now. It's just sad.
If you really look at it, is sad. If you really look at it, like Telltale didn't take the necessary steps to prevent this future.
I really feel like
it's not the devs' fault. It's not. It's not the people who are making the games.
It's the overview. It's the upper management.
It's the upper ones who are making the calls. Let's do a Guardians series. Let's do another Walking Dead Michonne spinoff. Let's do that. Like where was the pitch for an original IP or a pitch for an IP that people don't know, like Fables? I think that's why Wolf Among Us worked, because one, it was very interesting plot narrative wise, but also like I don't know anyone who knows the Fable comics. I didn't know the Fable comics until this game,
and that's still, I think, my favorite Telltale game is that season.
And it's a lot of people. It's a lot of people.
I love that game, and when they announced that, I was
gonna replay, but like I don't even know if I want to touch anything Telltale with a 10-foot pole for a while.
And it sucks, and I feel like there was a fork in the road at one point. I don't know which game. That Telltale was like, all right, we can either go a little bit tougher on ourselves here, make some more innovations, or just keep doing what we're doing. And they took the latter option, and it just came around.
And maybe they didn't make the call like that, but maybe they just...
Obviously, it's not like more of a gradual choice, maybe.
And you know,
but still.
A lot of companies switch games. Look at Insomniac. Look at Guerrilla. Look at Bungie. Look at Blizzard. They're not just making, despite having very popular titles, they decided to switch it up somewhere. Look at Guerrilla with Killzone to Horizon is a very good example.
Yeah, big switch up.
You know, like they were just
first-person shooter, third-person
Insomniac games going from Spider-Man, from Ratchet and Clank, with like they had a lot of different titles, but they tried to switch it up because they wanted to challenge themselves. And Telltale, probably somebody up who makes those decisions was like, we just want to make the same thing and make some money.
The same thing's working for us.
And not challenge the industry and not put our devs to a different task to freshen things up.
In a bad way, they were just saying if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and that doesn't always apply. Sure, don't fix it. Maybe upgrade it though. Make it work better.
Yeah,
is the idea. And
like I have nothing to do with the video game industry, but I've been
and
I'm not saying I'm the foremost authority on the industry, but I like to think I have a decent grasp on like
I think we have pretty good knowledge
what
of what
goes on
and
enough to make these comments and have these opinions.
Have these thoughts.
But I'm not saying I'm the factual.
Of course, me neither. Yeah, it's just
it's tough. I'm trying to find a reason for why. Because there are reasons, in my opinion. The
reasons just seem real shitty to me. Like, it doesn't seem like they were honest mistakes. They seemed like they were mistakes that they consciously made. Well, they didn't consciously make a mistake. The choices they consciously made that ended up really just fucking up the company.
And I think the bigger deal is this is during their fucking Swan Song's final season.
Well, it's just like they announced all these new things.
Swan Song, that's the wrong.
No, you're like. Yeah, no, the Swan Song.
This is the Swan Song
of The Walking Dead.
Their baby, the game that started it all, is not getting finished.
Yeah,
and I think that's the worst part about it. Not the Minecraft game, not it's The Walking Dead. It's the game that put them on the map, and that might not get finished.
And that's taking away obviously the terribleness that has happened to the devs, and just the shittiness way that they've handled the situation.
What are you looking at?
I'm just looking at the games because I was just looking at like. So we got Wolf Among Us in October. It just seemed like, oh wow, that came out right before season 2. Huh? I did not know that. The Walking Dead. Like Tales of the Borderlands, I heard is great, and I was even gonna say,
Borderlands is good. It's good.
Like, give me even more like with Batman, original stories with maybe IPs we know about. And I guess maybe I was lying about that because I saw Borderlands and was like, I don't care. But like then again, if you gave me, were they working on a Marvel one? Were they not?
Another one?
I thought they. Maybe I'm wrong, but
probably not.
Probably not. But it's just
you might be thinking of Square with the Avengers.
Maybe I am. It's just an awful situation.
Yeah,
and I don't know what else I can really.
We've been kind of talking in circles a little bit, but I think the conversation's been good and in quality.
Yeah. And we'd love to hear what you think about this. Honestly, I don't know if you guys are even really paying attention to it, if you've even heard about it before we've talked about it.
I'm sure if you're engrossed, you've heard about it. I feel like it's been very much enveloping
the video game industry,
engulfing the news.
That's true.
If you have 4 articles a day about different shit that's going on, I feel like you know about it to a degree.
Don't fuck your devs over. Don't mismanage your company like this, because this is just that's what I really really came down to. It's mismanagement.
Money. Hey, I was unemployed last year and. Not having money is not fun, but I found a job and things changed. But being unemployed is probably like one of the worst things you could ever go through. As somebody who not got laid off and was unemployed,
just not having
I did not have a job out of college for almost 8 to 7 months. And it was not a fun time for me.
And I will say, even in that time in your life, it sucks. But it's one of those things that you do just have to wait on. But even for the video game industry, this has made me. I used to want to make video games so bad when I was young. That was my dream job. I guess that's a lot of people.
I still want to get into the industry, but I think
the shit
trying
scares
to
me.
Make games it's a competitive industry to get in, and sometimes
if this is the shit you're dealing with on the job, it doesn't even seem almost worth it to me. I feel so bad for some of these people. Just it sucks, and it sucks because it's something that brings me so much joy. But to know that it fucks over people like that is really just tough.
Away
yeah,
games. I mean, it's something to keep in the back of your head. That's kind of why Rise of the Tomb Raider. I sit through the credits in most games. I won't skip credits on a sole reason that I think everyone who made that game should come up on my screen, whether I notice them or not.
I appreciate that.
Oh. Amber Goldfarb. One person I noticed from the Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider credits, and the only reason I took note of it was because it was Andrew Goldfarb.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, maybe Andrew Goldfarb, his sister named Amber Goldfarb. But I was just yeah, man,
no, it's true. It's nice to give them that recognition.
Give them the, even if you don't notice their name, giving them that
little minute.
I don't want to say recognition. That
I know what you mean.
Spotlight. The spotlight, even though you're not really, you're just...
I get what you're
for
yourself.
You're having their name come up on your screen because they were part of your game, and I think that's important.
I agree. But do you think that does it for us, Gooch?
Yeah.
I think that's it. Yeah. Well, thank you all for joining us for this a little more of a downer of an episode, but it did feel like something we needed to talk about, and felt very relevant. Thank you all so much for watching on Twitch. If you've been watching live, we really appreciate it. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Delco Nerd Network, as well as our YouTube channel. Just search Delco Nerd Network. I would say youtube.com/Delco Nerd Network, but that doesn't take you there for some reason. It's some weird link that you have to type in.
What?
We have to Yeah, it's like XY. I don't know why.
Oh.
We'll have to work on that. But just search Delco Nerd Network on YouTube. You'll find us.
I think I know why. Okay.
Instagram and Twitter at the Delco Nerds. You will be able to find this in podcast forms on all major podcast services, so please check that out. Thank you guys so much for watching. For Gooch, I've been Trio. We'll see you next time, guys, and stay nerdy.